This is J. Krishnamurti's second public discussion in Madras, 1972.
What shall we talk over together this morning?
What is unity of perception, and whether it depends on the activation of glands within the system?
What? What's the
Unity of perception.
what is the
Unity of perception.
unity of perception? Who invented that phrase?
I have it in one of your talks.
Ah, too bad.
Sir, is it possible for one to speed up the healing process in another who is physically ill?
What, sir?
Is it possible for one to speed up the healing process in another who is physically ill? One is physically ill.
Healing.
Can I speed up the healing process in him?
He wants to speed up the healing process in someone else.
Someone is ill and you want to help him to get speedily well, is that it?
Not that the healing process is
The-
going on with him. Can I assist him?
Can you assist in the healing process? Is that what you want to discuss?
Sir, how is learning of a moving thing possible?
What?
How is learning of a moving thing possible? I use the word how for the sake of investigation.
Yeah. How is it possible to investigate a living thing?
So can we discuss meditation and its application to daily problems of life?
But in this modern world,
Wait, sir. Can we talk over together what is meditation and its relationship to daily life?
in this modern
Sir, I haven't even finished. Yes, sir.
This modern life of interdependent and complex life, how to get rid of worries, anxieties and tension so that a man can live with mental equipoise and tranquility.
How can one live in this world with tranquility and peace though you're doing business? Huh?
Not to business, is a daily life that
Yeah.
anxieties, worries, tension. And your thesis how it can be applied.
How
to
is
practical
it
life.
possible to apply how to live peacefully though one is living rather crookedly? Is that it? Is that it, sir?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Why bother about peace? Live crookedly. Now, what would I have to discuss? So I'm not being funny, but how can you talk about tranquility and peace and yet live in a world that is so destructive, morally corrupt? So you can't live in that world. There is no other answer, is there? What shall we talk over together? Would you like to talk over that thing? That question?
Meditation and its application.
What?
Meditation and its application to practice.
Do you want to discuss meditation?
Yes, of course, sir. If you
Now
don't
wait.
mind, please.
What?
Meditation we would like to discuss. If you don't mind and consider it too much and say brushes it
What?
aside. We would like to know, personally touching upon yourself, sir, whether please let me talk, whether it is nonsense or
What, sir?
say, would you please discuss a thing, right from the days of your youth or the memory about you can have, whether this attention is intense and the same, or was there a gradation, or have you ever confronted the conflict of the nature we daily come across? Have you, when you talk about these things, conflict, anger, and other things, actually have you ever come in contact with that and then knows about it?
I don't quite follow your question, sir.
No, sir. They have been talking, they have been discussing.
Slowly,
on
sir.
love, attention, and sex, and so many complex of the problem.
Yeah.
Now, the word is not the thing. When you talk about it, I am quite sure you should have actually worked over or come across or confronted with and then rose about. Would you please discuss such things? Is it the same attention that was at the time of the writing at the feet of the master, we say, or right? You grab everything in meditation.
I see.
Because we love whether we will meet again. We are so happy. Let this occasion be had a benediction of it.
When you wrote at the feet of the master and now what you are talking about, is there a difference in attention from their period to now? Is that the question, sir?
Yes, also whether we are actually...
Wait. Is that the question? Are you interested in this?
What is learning?
So, are you interested in that question? Wait, sir. Are you interested in this question? You wrote at the feet of the master, and then now you are saying something perhaps totally different. Was there attention then at that time when you wrote at the feet of the master? Has there been is the same attention continues and expresses itself differently now? Is that the question? Yes. Is that what you want to discuss?
Yes, we want.
Sir, if you don't mind, I will just a bit it is not that as...
Slowly, sir. Slowly.
What I said is, during the course, whether it is inborn or inborn right from the beginning of your birth, the attention was, or just like as we are here...
I've got it. Are you an exception? Or can we all have it? Is that it? Right, sir? I'm putting it very simply. Are you an exception? All right, sir. Are you an exception, or you're like the rest of us? Why do you bother about me? Right? Why do you bother about what K is, or what K has been through? What is important, isn't it? So what you are doing, how you're living, not how K came by this.
No, sir.
No.
There is much involved in it, sir. It is not, if you say it right from the beginning, there is no meaning whatsoever in our listening and your talking. It is each one's bliss.
I can't.
So
I can't. Sir, I can't. I may not understand Tamil or but would you speak slower, sir?
I shall make it simple.
Simple, sir. I've got a simple mind, so.
It doesn't mean what you are, the me in you. What you are interested, I am interested in. Whether the attention is right from the beginning. Because we had, and also we have read that you have been put to enormous training and so many you have been taken through. I would like to know really, even during the period of those days, whether it was right from the day you know the memory and the sense of the word. The same or it has been developed due to some other effect, direct of your product.
Are you interested in that question? No. Thank God. I'm not being... We may discuss it another time, sir.
Sir, could we go back to meditation? What do you feel about meditation?
Do you want to discuss that? Yes, we're quite sure. What do you know about meditation, sir? What do you know? Please tell me what you know. I'm waiting for an answer. What do you know about meditation? Wait. Nothing?
Excepting what we have read here and there.
Yes. So you know nothing. Can we start from that? No, please, be very honest. You really know nothing about meditation, except what other people have said, and you have tried to either copy, imitate, or conform to what other people have said. But you yourself don't know the implications and the significance and the depth of meditation, right? Can we start from there? That you know absolutely nothing first-hand.
Yes.
Can we start with that? Right. Why should one meditate? Tell me, sirs, why should you meditate? What is the reason of meditation? And what do you mean by the word meditate? The verbal dictionary meaning of that word means to ponder over, to think over, to consider, to have the capacity to look into. That word means all that. Now, why should you meditate at all? If you know nothing about it, if you have not read a thing about it, as I have not read a thing about it, why should one meditate? Please come on, sir, help me. What? What, sir?
Without knowing what meditation is.
But you all used that word. You all said, let's discuss it. Let's find out what meditation is. If you don't know what that word is, if you don't know what it means, why I'm asking, why should you meditate at all? Huh? To acquire peace of mind. Why do you want peace of mind?
Get out of tension.
No, so just investigate. So I am not doubting. I'm not saying you should. Why should you have peace of mind?
Get out of tension.
What?
To get out of tension.
To be free of tension. Then why don't you take a tranquilizer?
That is artificial.
Huh?
That is artificial.
You think that's artificial? Then, when you call to have peace of mind and you think you will get it through meditation, isn't that artificial?
That is inner realization.
Oh, that's inner reality. Now, go step by step. What do you mean by inner reality? You people just say things you... I'm asking you, sir, why you should meditate at all?
Because somebody has said, this through meditation you have peace. Apart from that, I don't know.
So, we have said, not knowing what it is, what is the meaning of and the significance of that word, and we are trying to find out why should I meditate? Why should I meditate? Oh, sir, please, just listen to it. Why should I meditate?
Fix our mind in one thing.
Huh? To have peace of mind?
Mind in a particular thing.
To have peace of mind.
No, fix your mind.
On a particular thing.
You mean concentration?
That comes.
You mean concentration?
Fixity of mind.
Oh, the love of God. Do you mean to say, sir, why do you want to control? Why do you want to control your mind? Why do you want to control your feelings?
anxiety, anger.
Not to get depressed.
If the mind is not controlled, I am afraid it will bring explosion.
Not to get depressed.
It may also lead to chaos.
It may, if you don't control, it may lead to chaos. Aren't you living in chaos?
Yes.
So why do you control?
It will be worse if you don't control.
It'll be worse if you don't control. How do you know? It's pretty bad now, isn't it?
Yes.
Then, if control has produced this chaos in the world, and more control will produce more chaos. Oh, God's sake. So I'm asking myself and you, why I should meditate at all? Where do I start? Not knowing what meditation is, not knowing directly for myself what is the implication of meditation, not having read books, not wanting to imitate what others have said. Where shall I start? Shall I start with control?
Yes.
Don't say yes or don't. It's not a guessing game, this. Where shall I start? I say, huh?
First to understand better things around us.
So you say, I'll meditate in order to understand things better? That is, why should I meditate to understand things better? Who is the meditator? Oh, you people don't even think about it. So, sir, just listen, sir. Not having read, not having heard that any guru talk about any book and so on, push all that aside, if you can, which is a very difficult thing to do, because you've all read about it. You've all tried to practice meditation. You've all tried some kind of breathing and all the rest of it. Not knowing anything about it, where shall I start? I want to investigate. You understand, sir? I really want to investigate into this whole question of meditation. Because there are schools all over the world where they're teaching you meditation. There is the Zen meditation. There is the contemplation of the certain sects or monks in Christianity. There is the meditation of the so-called Muslims and so on. There are dozen varieties of meditation. I know nothing about it. So I want, just a minute, sir. Not knowing anything about it, I say, where shall I start about all these things they're talking about? I know nothing. They may be all caught in an illusion. I want to find out. Right? Right, sir? Now, where shall you tell me? Please tell me, where shall I start? Huh? Huh? Shall I continue where we left here from yesterday? Day before? I've forgotten it. Madam, this is part of awareness, what we are doing. So I say to myself, I have to understand first before I invest. No, investigation is only possible about something which I don't know by investigating what I know, right? Can we start with that? I can investigate what I know, not what I don't know about. Can I? Come with me, sir. I can only investigate what I know, not what I don't know about. Now, what do I know? What do I know? Listen carefully. What do I know? Which is not second hand, which is not what other people have said I am, what the book said I am, what the philosopher says I am, not the analyst and so on, so on. I say, what do I know? So just listen, investigate into yourself. What do you know?
Nothing.
I don't know anything at all.
Huh?
Nothing.
Is that true?
Yes.
Be honest, sir. Please don't say, is that true? You know nothing? Yes, sir?
I know I am. That's all.
You know you are. What do you mean by that word, you know you are? So may I go a little bit into it? And, will you agree to that? I cannot investigate about something I don't know. I can only investigate what I know. And investigate what I know, whether it is a second-hand information, something handed down to me, or something original. So I begin to question whether there is anything original in the construction of the me. Right? Are you following all this, sir? Oh, don't go to sleep, please. Are you interested in this? Oh, my Lord. I want to find out if I am totally second-hand, or is there something which is not touched by the culture, the society, the morality, the economic conditions, the education, and so on. You've understood my question? I want to find out if there is anything which is original, pristine, untouched by society, by the culture I live in, by the religion in which I have been brought up. Right? Right, sir? Now, I'm going to investigate. Together, don't just please listen to me. I'm going to investigate if there is anything original. I can only do that by investigating all my second-hand knowledge. Right? Right, sir? Now, my education has been to cultivate the memory through textbooks, right? So, the whole structure of memory has been emphasized through education in order that I should have a job and survive in a world that is so constructed that each one has to fight for himself. Whether it is the communist society or the Mao society or the capitalist society, it's based on that principle. So, memory has played a tremendous part in my life. Please, sir, I'm not talking. I can go to my room and talk to myself. But we are investigating together. So do you see this? Right? Can we move from there? So I see, as long as I function, as the mind functions in the field of memory, it is either the memory of the present education, culture, society, economic condition, or it is the memory handed down through tradition. Right? That's all I know. Right? No? Oh, come on, sir. I can invent out of that, mind can invent out of that memory something super memory. Super God, super Brahman, super consciousness, super ideals and so on. But it's all out of the field of this memory, the things are born. Right? So, is my mind entirely composed of a series of incidents, experiences and knowledge which have been handed down or which the mind has acquired during its process of education, right? That's all there is. No? Oh, you go to sleep. So you go to sleep.
Isn't there this action of the memory? At the moment, I look at something and I see something. Isn't that something new which is stimulating the memory?
How do I know that it is something new?
Just that the moment it becomes knowledge, it's
But then I can never say that it's new or old. Moment I say that is new, that very word new implies that I have recognized it as to be new. And that recognition is born out of the memory of the past. Please, this is, right? So, I find in investigating myself, the mind which is operating in daily life, that it is functioning always within the field of the known. Right, sir? The known. The known being, the family, the job, the desire to survive, the economic position, the cultural, the known, which is knowledge. Huh? Right, sir? Now, to investigate something further, the mind must be free of the known. Right? Right, sir? Or do you agree, do you see that? The mind has come to the point, you say, yes, that's perfectly right. That's logical, sane, unless, of course, one is insane and little bit distorted and so on, so on. But the mind is always functioning within the field of the known. Right? It may invent a super unknown, but it's still the reaction of the known.
How do you come to know? There is a further.
I said I don't know. I say, the mind says after investigating, there is only the field of knowledge. Right? To investigate if there is something further, the mind must be free of the known. Right? Huh?
Investigate further. Why should it be free of the known?
I said, sir, you haven't listened to what I said.
Sir, how can the known get rid of itself?
I don't know, sir. I'm going to go into it. I'm going to go into it step by step if we together are going into it. The mind functions, the mind being, the brain, the nerves, the feeling, psychosomatic unit. You understand what means psychosomatic? Body and the mind together, not separate. All that is within the field of the known. That is the field of knowledge. To that knowledge, I can take away, from that knowledge, take away or add. It's always within that field. Now, I say to my mind says to itself, now, to investigate anything further, the mind must be free of this knowledge. Right? Right, sir? Whether it is possible or not, that's a different matter.
Why should it be free of the known to know?
What, sir?
Why should the mind be free of the known?
I said to you, sir, to investigate something further, the mind must be free of the known. If I want to investigate into the nature of Jupiter, I must put aside all the conclusions I have about Jupiter and inquire. No? So I ask, the mind says, can the mind ever be free of the known? That is, the known being the past, which passing through the present modifies the future, which is time. Are you following all this? No, I'm afraid you are not. So you're just listening mechanically as usual. Now, the known is the field of my action, is the field of action. And to find out something more, if there is anything more, the mind must be free of the known. Is that possible? Right, sir? Now, who is to free it? Right? A super agency, God, doesn't matter, whatever it is, an agency outside the field of knowledge. Are we meeting each other? Somebody meet me, sir.
There seems to be nothing in my mind except the knowledge.
That's all. I understand.
Yes, I can't free it.
I'm inquiring, sir. I know the mind functions within the field of knowledge, always. To inquire if there is something more, the mind must be free of the known. Is that possible?
Yes.
I mean, one moment, is that possible? You say yes. How do you know?
It's impossible.
Huh?
It's impossible.
You say it is impossible. How do you know?
Nothing but knowledge. How can it be free of knowledge?
I don't know. I'm going to...
How do you make a statement?
What's that?
How do you make a statement that it must be free of
You haven't even... Sir, look. I say, please listen, sir. The field of the mind, the brain, everything functions within the field of knowledge. Right? To find out if there is something more or not, I must be free from this field. It's so simple, sir. I don't know anything. I'm using the word simply. Keep to that word, sir, please. You see how you can... Sir, I want to trot along. You'll prevent it. The mind finds it acts, functions, operates only in the field of knowledge. That knowledge is experience, communal experience, and so on, so on, so on, which is the past, which is time. Now, can the mind be free of this field of knowledge in order to go beyond? There may be no beyond, but it wants to find out. That is, an animal that has been tied to a tree cannot go very far. It is only when it is untied it can go very far. Similarly, the mind, untied to knowledge, can go very far. Or maybe they're no further at all. So, I am asking, can the mind free itself from its own knowledge? So, from that question arises, who is to free it? The Guru? The Guru? An invention of the mind as the super agency? The higher consciousness, which is still part of the field of knowledge? You're following all this? No, you're not. Brahman, God, Jesus, Krishna, Buddha. Who is to free it?
Sir, there must be something within.
Don't say there must be, then you are theoretical. Then you are speculative.
No, I'm talking about experience. It is possible to watch one's own thoughts.
No, I haven't come to that yet. Please, follow it step by step. You will get yourself the answer. I don't know what the answer is going to be, but we'll get it. So, mind sees it can invent a super consciousness, hoping thereby to free it from the known. And it says, by Jove, that's an illusion. I won't go enter into that. So it rejects any form of an outside agency. Right? Then, what will free it? You've understood my question? If there is no outside agency to free it, and an outside agency is an invention of the known, as the God, the inner self, the outer self, the Brahman, you follow? You can invent any number of outside agencies. And when the mind sees these inventions are reactions to escape from the known, therefore it says all those don't count. They're all illusions. Then it says, is it possible to free myself from the known? Right? Are you in that position? Have you rejected all outside agencies? Tradition, Gita, the Upanishads, your guru, your gods, your beliefs, all outside agencies invented by the knowledge, by knowledge, which says, I can't get out of this. Therefore, I hope there is something outside which will help me to get out of it. Right? Therefore, all movement of knowledge to go beyond itself is illusion. You see something, sir? You get it? Do you get it? No. So, illusion is the escape from the known. Right? Don't agree with me, sir. You'll have to operate. You have not just, well, I agree with you and go on with your ashes and this and puja and gurus and all that's out, if you're serious. So it says, what am I to do? Right?
Talking about free not illusion.
Huh?
You're talking about illusion, the free no. But the no can also be illusion, isn't it?
What, sir?
The no.
The known is not an illusion. I know how to ride a bicycle.
No, but if you see no as something that you take on by seeing things around, or what is given.
So that's not. The language which I know, English, Sanskrit, or French or Italian, I know that's not an illusion because I communicate with you in English. I know it's not an illusion when I ride a bicycle. I know it's not an illusion when I travel in an aeroplane. I know it's not an illusion when I drive a car, when I do a job. So don't reduce it. I said illusion is when the mind finds that it cannot escape from the field of knowledge and tries to go beyond it. That is illusion. Right? See the beauty of it, sir, how it uncurls. Now, then the mind says, what am I to do? Why is it necessary to go beyond at all? Why can't I? Why shouldn't? This is all right. Why don't I accept this? Right? Why don't I accept this field of knowledge as the only thing that matters? Right? Why don't you accept it?
Actually, we have accepted it.
Huh?
Actually, we have accepted it.
No, sir. Then you have no guru. Then you have no outside belief. Then you have no God. I said, that's all I know. Huh? Right, sir? So I say now, what is the field of knowledge? Right? The field of knowledge is the acquired, inherited tradition, education, the conditioning which society, religion, culture has imposed on my mind. Why doesn't the mind say, all right, I live there?
Because it's extremely uncomfortable.
Therefore, to live there is extremely uncomfortable. See what happens. So the mind, not being able to go beyond, invents. Right? So why don't I put up with the discomfort of it? Why does the mind put up with the discomfort of it? You're all in discomfort, right? Don't, huh? Why don't you put up with it? Huh? You are able to, sir. That's why you put up with it.
On the same, there is always time.
So you say, I can't put up with it. Because what? Huh?
I want comfort.
No. Why can't you put up with the known? Because, just listen, sir, do look at it for yourself. The known is sorrow. Right? The known is pain. The known is fear. The known is pleasure. The known is the anxiety, the ambition, the sense of utter despair, loneliness. That's all the known. The sorrow of tears, laughter, all that is the known. Why doesn't the mind say, yes, sir, that's enough. I'll keep with this. Come on, sir, go on. I'm investing it, you're not. You're
Instinctively, mind wants to be
free
free
from what?
from this turmoil.
So it says, I want to be free from sorrow. I will take one thing. I want to be free from sorrow. Is that possible? Is that possible? So I must find out. So I say, what is sorrow?
What you cannot bear.
And is that all what sorrow is? What you cannot bear? I can't bear the tight waistcoat around me. Is that my sorrow? For God's sake, you people are so shallow. What is sorrow?
What you desire and what
Huh?
you cannot achieve.
What?
What do you desire and what you cannot achieve.
What you cannot achieve, that brings sorrow. What is it you want to achieve? Become the Prime Minister? Glorified clerk? What is it you want to achieve? Sir, you're not go along, sir. What is it you want to achieve? Which says, if I don't achieve that, there will be sorrow. What is it you want to achieve? Enlightenment? Huh? Permanent happiness?
Something different from the rest.
Oh, you.
Security.
Security. I want security. What kind of security? Physical security?
Now I am not secure.
Physical security? Do you want physical security?
Physical and secure.
So go step by step. Do you want physical security? We all do. Now, how do you have physical security? Can you have security if war is going to take place? Can you? So, to have security, you can't have war. Right? War is the result of economic division. No? Social division, class division, national division. So if you want security, these must go. Are you willing to do that? Oh, Lord, come on. So you really don't want physical security. All that you want is to be left alone with the little security that you have now. Right? And when that security is threatened, you are disturbed. And that you call sorrow. My Lord, is that sorrow? When your bank account is taken away, when you lose a little job, is that sorrow? So you say, what is sorrow? You follow, so we are investigating. So what is sorrow? I lose my brother John, or Rao, or whatever the name is. I lose my brother. What does that mean? Okay, haven't you lost a brother, wife? I hope you're not. But haven't some of you lost brothers, wives, husbands, sisters, sons? What does that mean? How can I talk with you people? No, sir, you are repeating what I have said. Don't read books, for God's sake, think. What, when you say sorrow, what do you mean by it?
Death.
Huh?
Death.
Death.
Losing something.
Losing somebody whom you love, you think you love. That's right? Investigate. That is, you say, I suffer. I'm in great sorrow. I've shed tears. I can't sleep. I have lost somebody whom I loved a great deal. So I am suffering. Right? What do you mean by that word suffering? Oh, don't theorize. Haven't you suffered? Huh? So what does that mean?
It is denying.
Huh? What?
Something is denied.
something denied. My food is denied. Do I suffer? I'm denied clothes. Is that suffering? That's part of suffering. I'm denied shelter. I'm denied from becoming a beastly politician. I'm denied this or that. Is that suffering? Huh? So I must, do listen, sir. I must find out, the mind must find out, what is suffering? What does it mean? You say, yes, I've lost my son and I'm terribly upset. I'm full of sorrow. What does that mean? No.
We don't know. We don't know.
What does it mean, sir?
I don't know.
What's that? Pain. Pain because I've lost my son? Oh no. Haven't you lost somebody? Haven't you cried? Haven't you? What does that mean?
It's an emotional reaction to something. It's
Huh?
an emotional reaction to a situation.
Beg pardon?
Where you, the individual, have lost something that is dear to you. It is your reaction to something that is to a situation that is yours.
Self-pity.
I have lost my son.
And I love my son. And I
Wait, Madam, I understand. I've lost my son, my brother, my father, my mother, my wife. And I suffer. I shed tears. I want to see him. I want to find out if he exists after life. I don't know, they say he does. But all that doesn't alleviate or soften my suffering. So I say, why am I suffering? What does this mean? You understand, sir? You don't answer it. I have to answer you. Reaction to what?
Feeling of separation.
Huh?
Feeling of separation.
Feeling of separation. That is, my son and I were united, were together, and I've lost him. Therefore, he is not. Therefore, I feel separate. Now go slowly into this, sir. Now, separation. Was I ever united with him? Huh?
You shared something with him, you shared a living experience with him, and then suddenly that person or that individual...
Madam, you're not, are you answering the question? I'm not saying you're not, I can't quite hear. Are you saying, I'm asked the question, were you ever united with your son, with your wife, husband, all the rest of it, to feel that you're separated? When you say separated, what is separation? You do.
I lost the support.
Huh?
I lost the support.
You lost the economic support if he's an old boy, an older person, and so on. You're not answering my question.
Sir, myself left alone.
Huh?
Myself left alone.
Left alone. You are left alone. You feel lonely, separate. You have no companion, and you had a companion. You walked together, you talked together, you laughed together, you looked at the same things, and did all kinds of things together. And suddenly that person is gone. And you say, oh, how terrible. I am in tears. Now, please go a little further. What is this suffering?
The loss of my hopes and desires
which is all the investment I made in my son is gone. Be let simple. So I'm putting investment in the sense my affection, my hope, he was going to inherit my property if I have little property, and so on. All the investment I have put in him is lost. I am separate from him. And I say, is that what is causing sorrow?
The thing which is known to you already.
Or?
The thing which is known to you already. You are making yourself, you are worrying yourself. It is a plain fact. When a child comes from mother's womb, what does it bring? It brings only death. You mean birth, death.
Are you talking philosophically or actually?
What is it?
Are you talking abstractly, verbally, or are you talking actually, as your direct experience?
I'm talking actually, sir.
What?
Actually, sir.
Oh, you're not a mother, are you? It's also childish when you talk like this. Sir, I come to you with sorrow, and you give me ashes, words. You have done nothing but that. I want to find out what it means. I want to find out if his mind can ever be free from sorrow. Not words. And you have given me nothing but words. Huh? Pardon? Yes, madam. I've lost my son. I remember him. How playful he was. How nice he was, how beautiful he was. Memory. The memory remains and the person is gone. And I like to have him without the memory. So please, I am asking you, what is suffering?
Physical or mental pain.
Your people are impossible to talk to. You really don't connect yourself with the fact. The fact is something and you are somewhere else. So please connect yourself with the fact. The fact is, I've lost my son. I've shed tears. And I say to myself, I'm suffering a great deal. I'm asking, what is this suffering that human beings go through always throughout the centuries? From Egypt, Romans, Greeks, Persians, every human being that has lived on earth has been through this aching sorrow. Not perhaps you. And I say, what is this thing that man goes through? What is this sorrow? You see, sir, how impossible it is with these people. Verbal statements are ashes when somebody is suffering. If somebody wants food and you give them words.
If you're truly sorry, it comes because you feel for the other person. You don't identify yourself with that person.
So, you feel for the other person. That is, I wish my son had lived. He showed promise of being a great artist or a this or that. And now he's gone.
No, not necessarily that way. You just say, he's no more.
He's no more. That's right, sir. He's no more.
You don't think about his future. You don't have to think about his future.
He's no more. And why do I suffer?
Because I can't hear him, I can't be with him, and I can't enjoy his company. The thought of it brings
How extraordinary. I am asking, sir, what is suffering? I can explain to you, I have lost a son. He was my companion. I have put all my hope in him. I have failed in life, whatever that failure means, and I hope you will succeed. I have immortalized him. You understand? So he is become my son. I've identified identified myself with him, and now he's gone. Or I say he's gone. And yet I suffer. Right? I don't say, well, he's gone, let's dance. I'm agony. Now I say to myself, what is this agony? What is this sense of suffering?
Dependence.
Add that to that, what I have said, dependence. You haven't added any more.
Intense feeling.
We really don't know what suffering is. I mean, the true meaning of it.
I'm going to find out. I don't think you gentlemen know a thing about it. You talk about it.
I have been deriving satisfaction.
What?
I have been deriving certain satisfaction through a person.
Yes, I add all that. Satisfaction, pleasure, annoyance, sex, whatever it is. And you have lost him. Please, sir. I am attached. Now I am detached. I put all my faith in him. He's gone. He was my hope. He's gone. And I realize, rationally, he's finished. He's no longer there. But I suffer. Now, don't explain anymore, add anymore. Huh?
Is it our image, which is the inner part, lost?
That's image. You are adding another chapter. But it's the same book. You're all talking about the same book with the different chapters. But I'm going further. I'm saying, what is this suffering that I go through?
I want to change the situation in hand.
That's another chapter. All right, you have added 100 chapters.
Disappointment.
Huh? Yes, that's good. You see, sir, what kind of minds you have produced. I am asking you something, I am asking you, what is this suffering? Yeah, that's all. What is sorrow that I feel?
What do you mean by asking what is?
I'm going to put into words. You people can't even think.
The mind does not accept that as a fact.
No, what is this question you are asking?
I am asking, sir, why do I suffer? Why do I suffer? And what is this thing called suffering? You understand?
Why do I suffer is clear.
Huh?
Why do I suffer has been explained by 50 chapters.
Now, what is this suffering? Please just listen. Is the suffering caused by all the chapters you have given? Or is suffering independent of the chapters? Do you understand? No, I don't. I'm investigating. Please go slow. Be gentle, sir. This is rather difficult. I have added chapter after chapter. I've compiled a book for the causes of sorrow. Now, is sorrow independent of the cause, or sorrow is the result of the cause? Result of the book. You understand, sir? You've understood what I'm talking? Just that bit, go slowly. I have collected a volume of all the reasons why I suffer. attachment, loss, companionship, feeling of loneliness, separation, and so on, so on, so on, so on. I've compiled a whole book of explanations why I suffer. So I say to myself, is the explanation the cause of suffering? Is the book the cause of suffering, or is suffering something entirely different? I'm investigating. I don't say it is or it is not. Have you? No, you don't. You are going to sleep, sir? Now, this raises another point. My consciousness is its content, right? If there is no content, there is no consciousness. So the content is consciousness, right? Do you see that? The consciousness of K is the furniture, is the book, is the identification with the house. His consciousness is his education, and so on, so on. The content is consciousness. The content of the house is the house. The walls, the furniture, the space, and so on, is the house. So the content of consciousness is consciousness. So I am asking, sorrow is the content of the book? You understand, sir? Or is there sorrow without the book? And don't say no, you haven't even understood. I haven't even understood what I'm talking. So you are adding another chapter, which is self-pity. Self-pity, and not the other. All right, that's another. You follow? You have got. I'm losing my thread. I can't let you interfere with something which I'm investigating. Good.
Before the premise, even if the sun is not dead, there will be sorrow. What you say is true.
Sir, please, sir, you haven't. I don't think I have understood it yet. So, don't ask me. Look, sir, first see, the content of my consciousness is its content. Is that right? Your consciousness is what you think. Your furniture, your wife, your pleasure, your anxiety, your losing a job or getting a success, all the content makes up this consciousness. Without the content, there is no consciousness.
No.
Huh?
Consciousness is not a product.
What?
Consciousness is not a product.
Of course it is.
No.
Why?
The wall doesn't feel conscious about you.
The wall is dead stuff. I am talking about myself.
That's the difference.
Sir, what are you talking about?
I am talking, sir, what I feel.
Now wait, sir. What is consciousness? That which is alive. That which is thinking, feeling. The wall is not. Maybe the atoms that compose wall may have its own feeling, so leave the walls alone. Your consciousness, Mr. X consciousness, is what he thinks, what he feels, what his knowledge, His identification with the country, with the book, with the wife, with the family, the money, the bank account, the furniture, all that is his consciousness. It's so obvious. Without all that,
without consciousness, you are not able to see all these things.
I didn't say that, sir. Oh,
That's a basis, it's not a product.
it is the product. If you do not identify yourself with the furniture, if the furniture didn't exist, where is consciousness? It is simple. I want it kept flat. I don't want to have...
And also part...
I'm sorry, I must go on with investigating this. It's marvelous I'm coming to something. Let's go along. Please, have 10 minutes patience. I see consciousness is its content. Its content makes up consciousness. There is no consciousness as we know now without its content. No, I have not modified, sir. Don't be. How you want something more? You see, I'm cutting it. I will not accept something more till I come upon it. Till the mind comes upon it. So I say, is sorrow the content of the book? You understand, sir? You got it? The chapters, chapter after chapter, word after word, the loneliness, separation, you follow? Is the content of sorrow the book? If the book is not, is there sorrow? Do you understand that? You understood what I'm saying, sir? Just verbal understanding enough for the moment.
I don't follow you, sir. Speak to the mic, I will follow you.
Huh?
If you speak to the mic, sir,
I'm so sorry. Look, sir, I want to begin again. Just let me begin. My son is... What, sir?
On the sorrow you will experience.
Yeah. My son is dead. I've lost him. One way to treat it is to say, yes, that's a fact, I've lost him. And there's nothing more to be done. Either I get bitter, lonely, scratchy, eccentric, ugly, or I say, I like to see him. I believe in reincarnation. He must exist. I go to mediums. I do all kinds of stuff. That's one chapter. I see that I am lonely. That's another chapter. I see that I have no companion. That's another chapter. I see that I have this pain of not being related to my son, and so on, so on. I have now collected a lot of words, chapters, rational, true, false. That is the book I have. That is the content of my consciousness. Right? Right, sir? Right? That is there sorrow without the content. As long as there is content, there must be sorrow. When there is no content, there is no sorrow. Oh, you don't see it. Have some of you got it? No, sir, don't get it. Don't repeat this verbal. It has no meaning. No meaning whatsoever. If you repeat it, it'll be ash. And when somebody comes to you, with hunger, you give him food, not words, not ashes. And that's what you have been doing all this morning, giving me ashes. So I say to you, what is this suffering? Self-pity? Anxiety, loneliness, all these are the books, the content which makes for sorrow. When the content is not, is there sorrow? No, don't. Exactly. What? What?
I can answer the question only when I am free in context.
Now I'm going to point. That's so. Just a minute. So I see. So the mind says, I see. Consciousness is its content. Right? As long as there is this content of division, content is always division. Ah, you see it, sir? No, you don't see it. Moment you say loneliness, self-pity, invested in my son, they're all separative, fragmentary activities. So, consciousness, I get it. Consciousness is the content of contradiction and fragmentation. When the fragmentation is not, consciousness is something entirely different. Now, that means when the content has no separation, this, then conflict ceases. Of course, separation means conflict. So when there is fragmentation, there must be conflict. It is this conflict that makes for consciousness. Right? Obviously, it's simple. So I say to myself, now, sorrow is the content of the book. And the book is sorrow. The next question is, how is the mind to be free of its content, which is time, which is separation, loneliness, this, the whole book. How is the mind to be free of that book? Right? Have you followed this, sir? Are you with me any of? Huh? Now, how is the mind to be free of the book? You know what I mean by the book. Now, how? You tell me. This is meditation. From the beginning till now, that's meditation to me. You follow, sir? That's because you are in contact with reality, and not with some absurd illusion. So I say, mind says, can the mind, this mind, be free of the book, of all the chapters? So well, it's your job, find out. So I'll go on. As long as the content is fragmented, consciousness is, as we know it. When it is not, it may have a different quality. I don't know. So, sorrow is the content of the whole book. Right? If the whole book is the content which brings sorrow, then how is the mind to be free of the chapters? I'm going to find out, right? So I say to him, mind says, what is harmony? Right, sir? And this is relevant. We'll come back to it. What is harmony? You understand, sir? You know what that word harmony means? Complete balance, complete health of the body, of the mind, of the heart, complete. The word whole, W-H-O-L-E, means healthy. Whole means also holy, H-O-L-Y. So, whole means harmony, healthy, sanity, completeness. So, as long as there is fragmentation in the mind, the chapters, it is not in harmony. Right? So how can this, not how, is harmony possible? You understand what? That is, can the body, the organism, the heart in the sense of affection, love, kindliness, generosity, humility, the deep sense of compassion, and the mind with its extraordinary intellect, memory, the quality of a real mind that thinks originally. You follow? Not secondary. Can all the three be in total harmony? If it is, then there is no fragmentation, and therefore there is no conflict, and that is harmony. Right? Now, can the mind, please listen to this, I'm going on, you're not following. Can the mind, the heart, I'm just dividing for, and the body be in complete harmony? So that the body doesn't want something, the mind doesn't want something else, and the heart says, please, I love you, but I also hate somebody else. Now, can the mind, the heart, and the body in complete function, in complete unity, complete harmony, as a whole? That means whole being healthy, holy. I have to find out. Right, sir? So the mind says, listen to all this. This is meditation, you understand? Oh, you don't know what it means. Can the body be highly sensitive? If the body is not highly sensitive, it cannot respond totally to the heart. That heart being affection, kind, love, all the rest of it. So can the body be sensitive? So has the body its own intelligence, not imposed intelligence by the mind which says to the body, you must do this, that, the other. I don't know if you're, are you following all this? No. Have you found out if the body has its own intelligence? No. Because you have imposed on the body certain rules and regulations, certain tastes, certain controls, right? You must do this, you must eat this, you must have no sex or have sex, you must, you follow, drill it. And therefore the body has lost its sensitivity. Right? So if you don't impose, drill it, then the body has its own intelligence. The organism has its own intelligence. Otherwise you couldn't function. There's the automatic method, all that functions automatically. But we have disturbed it by the kind of life we lead. Right? So, the body has its own intelligence. Without being told what to do. When it is tired, it is tired. Leave it alone. I don't know. When it wants something, it follows her. Never be dictated, never dictate what the body should have, should not have. That's a marvelous thing, you don't know about all this. Therefore, no control of the body at all. No pushing it, no driving it, no drilling it. Therefore, asceticism is something entirely different. Are you following all? Asceticism, that word means ash. And the ascetics, the monks and the so-called religious people have reduced the body to a state of dullness. Right? I don't know. And they think that is being ascetic. Asceticism has quite a different meaning. The simplicity of intelligence of it, which is the function of the body, without the interference of a mind which conforms to a pattern. You don't see the beauty of it. And so I have to find out what love is, whether I love anything at all. Love a tree, love a bird, love nature. Do you know anything about all this, sirs? Do you love a tree? Huh? Do you? Are you sure? Have you ever planted a tree? No. What? What, sir? Would you plant a tree if you're given convenience? Would you look after it? Would you look after it, care for it, protect it? Would you protect the nature? If you protect one tree, you protect nature. Therefore, you have to go into the whole question of pollution. No, you don't. So, do you love people? Not the idea of love. Do you love your wife? So we'll find out all that. So harmony means total action in which there is no division as the body, the mind, the heart. It's a total action. And that action can take place only when the mind is not fragmented in itself. Fragmentation exists when there are the contents which make the book. The book is the content, and that's why there is conflict, and that conflict is sorrow. You've got it? We'll talk more, sir. Perhaps on Sunday evening or Saturday. How quick you ought to correct me. Perhaps, I said, perhaps. We'll talk about meditation much more. There is much more involved in this. Because meditation is something that is really a most extraordinary thing if it operates. You know a funnel? You know a funnel, don't you? If you enter it at one end, it comes to a point, and there is nothing more. But if you come through the little point, it opens. You understand? And the openness is endless. That is meditation. To come through the little point, which is yourself. Right? Right, sir? To penetrate that little point which is yourself, which is the known. If you go through that, if the mind goes through that, the expanse is immeasurable. But if you enter from the open to the little, you have nothing. Right? And that's what you're all doing. You want words of what you have read, that is always entering from the open to the little, and there is nothing you left at the end. So we will talk about all these things. It's 9 o'clock, we must talk on Saturday and Sunday.